Hello students, myself Mohammad Rameez. I welcome you all on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. My subject is social science. Today we are going to learn the chapter number 16 of 10th standard, that is economic liberalization and globalization. So students, today we are going to learn about World Trade Organization. Before starting this topic, we will discuss some terms which will help you to understand this topic properly. Students, we all are familiar with the words import and export. Import is about when one country is purchasing or buying goods from other country is import. For example, India buying some goods from China. So that will be import. And when we do import, we have to pay money for that and it becomes our expenditure. So when we do import, we have to incur the expense. And the other term is export. When one country sell its goods to other country is export. For example, India selling the goods to America, so that is an export. And when we do export, we get an foreign exchange. When we do export, we get an income. So moving further, have you ever thought about why there is international trade? The answer is very simple, because all the countries does not have all the resources. For example, Gulf country have excess amount of mineral oil, so they do export it and earn money. So basically the country who are having the excess resources, they do export that. And the country who do not have some resources in their own country, they do import it. Okay, now as you can see in the slide given, World Trade Organization was established on 1st January 1995 by the member nations of the United Nations. Its headquarters is located in Geneva in Switzerland. Okay, we all know that after the end of Second World War, for the international peace, United Nations was formed in the year 1945. United Nations work with decentralization method. So it had formed different branches working in different sector. This we had learned earlier in 9th standard also. I will give you some example of its branches so that you can recall. International Monetary Fund. This is also a branch of UN which deals in the finance. ILO, International Labour Organization, which deals with the world labor. WHO, World Health Organization. So same way, for easy transfer of goods and service across the different countries, UN had formed WTO, that is World Trade Organization. I will repeat, for easy transfer of goods and service across the different countries, UN has formed WTO, that is World Trade Organization, in the year 1995. Currently, there are 164 countries who are the member of WTO. All the countries, member countries, have to follow all the guidelines given by WTO. India was the member of WTO from the very inception of this organization. It means India was the member of the WTO right from the 1995. So now let's discuss the objectives of WTO. Okay, the first point, to solve the trade related disputes arising in the world. So here it is about that if any two country is having any fight or dispute related to trade, then it will be solved by WTO. Second point, to coordinate with global trade policy and economic policy. So in this point it is said about that all the 164 member nations who are the member of WTO have to follow the guideline of WTO and obey the policy framed by WTO to boost the international trade. Third point, to remove protection policy given to home industries of country from foreign trade. So every country give more importance to its own home-based industry. For example, India will wish that its home-based industries sale should be more rather than Chinese good in Indian market. So it's kind of using the concept of Swadeshi goods. Before time, every country was giving more protection to its own home-based industries, and the foreign competition was avoided by them. And now the system is removed by WTO because it is becoming an obstacle for international trade. Now every country after the globalization have to face the international trade. The fourth point, to remove obstacles influencing global trading. Now we will learn the functions of WTO. The first point, to set up a required structure for implementation of agreement related to multinational trade and agreement related to it. It means that laying down a commonly accepted code of conduct with the aim to reduce trade barrier at international level, so no country can show any favorism or discrimination with one another. Second point, WTO plays a vital role for debate and negotiations for multinational trade. So, as we have discussed earlier in objectives also, that if any dispute arises between two countries, then the negotiations and solutions of the dispute will be done with the help of WTO. The third point, WTO encourages unbiased international trade. This point tells us that WTO promote the fair trade system at international level. Every country have equal right to take part in international trade and compete from each other. Fourth point, different nations follow their own national policy. It observes them and suggests require improvements. WTO keep observing on every country trade policy so that any country do not make any such policy which is harmful for international trade. Impacts on Indian economy. It means effects of WTO on Indian economy. India is a member of this WTO organization since its inception. So as we all know that WTO established in the year 1995, and from the 1995 only India was a member of WTO. So what will be the impact of this organization on India, or which type of benefits would it India acquire? Which kind of benefits India will obtain are discussed below. The first point, India's contribution to the world trade was 0.5%. Here they are saying that India's contribution in the world trade before time, in past, it was 0.5%. Our export have increased tremendously due to increase in international trade, and as a result of it, India's contribution in world trade has increased to 1%. So after becoming the member of WTO, India have taken the benefits, and exports of India has increased tremendously, and our contribution towards the international trade, our contribution of India towards the international trade, which was 0.5% earlier, now increased to 1%. Second point, being member of WTO, export of ready-made clothes of our country has increased. So in this point they are saying that India is exporting the ready-made clothes to the different countries of the world. Third point, as a member of WTO, India has been able to increase export of its agro products. Agro products means the products related with the agriculture sector. India ranks second in the world in the matter of production of agriculture. 49%, currently 49% of the population of India is working in the agriculture sector. So obviously the exports related to agro products are more from Indian economy. Now the fourth point, due to increase in export, pressure on imports has reduced and foreign investment has been increase in foreign exchange. Okay, as we do export, in return we get foreign exchange in the form of earning. At the other side, if we will talk about imports of India, India do imports machinery and technology from the developed countries. So as we do more export, we don't have a pressure to make payments of this machinery and technology to developed countries. Thus, as a member of World Trade Organization, India will not only get above mentioned but benefits also has to comply with some conditions. It is especially dependent on how fast India increases its infrastructure facilities and how developed countries treat India. Here it says about as India will develop more of its infrastructure facilities for its industrial sector, then more industry will set up and it will lead to more production and the contribution of India towards world trade will increase. For example, SEZ, Special Economic Zone are being set up nowadays by the Indian government so that more industries will start in that SEZ zone, and the industries which are setting up in SEZ zone are getting more benefits, tax benefits, and they are getting all the facilities like easy transportation. They are getting the water facility, banking facility, insurance facility easily available for them. So more number of industries are being setting up, and India have to make a favorable policy for the for the other country if they want to attract the foreign direct investment from other country. So here we end up today's session. Thank you. Stay safe. Goodbye.